ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Solution Podcast. It's the solution. Yes. Yes. It's the solution, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the truth. That's what we are here for. It's the Solution Podcast. Let's get to the solution. Let's work out these problems. Let's get to it. Let's tell them the truth. Let's stop the lies. Let's give them the evidence. The Solution Podcast. We got you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you stay tuned. I hope, comment. Hold on. Let me say that again. I hope you comment, like, and subscribe. We've got you. We're gonna tell you the truth. We're not gonna lie. And don't forget, ladies and gents, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Welcome to the Solution Podcast, everyone. We've got 8 of you guys watching. Welcome to the Solution Podcast, everyone. Shout outs to you. We've got Hassan today. His team Elon. His team Elon. Donald Trump versus Elon Musk. Listen, man, I'm dying to find out all about this issue, this back and forth that seems to be going on right now. What's going on? What's going on, Hassan? Hopefully JM will join us as well, but what's going on, Hassan?
All good, bro. Good to be here, despite this crazy events going on.
What happened, bro? What happened? That's what I want to know, bro. What happened, man? Oh my days! I thought they were the best. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's start off by hearing what Trump has to say. Okay. Because I don't know everything about this situation here, but I definitely want to find out. Definitely want to know.
Can you hear me? Got a bit silent there.
Billions and billions of dollars.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars. And it really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric, but we want to have a gasoline, combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have all. We want to be able to sell everything. And when that was cut, and Congress wanted to cut it, he became a little bit different. And I can understand that. But he knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody. And he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape. He said the most beautiful things about me, and he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
And Mr. President, did he? I just want to clarify. Did he raise any of these concerns with you privately before he raised them publicly? And this is the guy.
All right, EV mandate. What's your reaction, bro?
Okay, so when Trump says everything he says in that video, I believe him. I believe Elon saw it. Elon knew everything about it. Elon knew that his EV budget was going to be cut because it's not a priority, and his company isn't basically the most important company in the world as far as the taxpayer is concerned. I have a suspicion that Elon is just using this as an opportunity to just, because he's failed in trying to make Doge the successful cutting spending, cutting so much, federal spending down
Let's
to
start off
nothing.
with the EV mandate. What's the EV mandate?
What is the EV mandate? That's a good question. The EV mandate, I guess, it's a part of the budget that is allocated towards giving tax credits to people that are buying EVs. So from what I'm reading here,
Emission vehicle?
what's that?
Emission vehicle?
No, electric vehicle.
Electric vehicle, yeah. EV mandate.
EV. Yeah.
Is that what that is, yeah?
Yeah, EV mandate. So let me get you a proper reading of what it is. So the EV mandate related to US mandate. So it has. Oh, I'm reading it now. So it's a part of the federal budget under Biden. Set a goal to lower 50% of new car sales to be. To make the goal to be that 50% of electric vehicles. 50% of vehicles sold are electric vehicles. So it's a mandate set up to subsidize the electric vehicle industry. So if you buy a Tesla, a part of it, the company is funded directly, or no, you get tax credits. So where it should be 50,000, there's the tax is deducted somehow on electric vehicles. So that's the U.S. government, in a sense, takes on some of the cost of the actual electric vehicle.
Okay, so what's Elon's issue with it? What's Elon's issue with it? How much money is he losing? Because as far as I know, everything comes what happened between them? This breakup, this bromance breakup, basically.
You pose a good question. Your question being, how does this affect him financially? Let me just because that's a good question. Because obviously,
because I have a video where it touches on it.
Have you got that?
What the guys alluded to is that he basically lost a lot of money. Put it this way.
Yes.
What's his name? Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And this is what I was saying earlier. But this bromance basically came to an end due to business interests. Which says a lot about each other's intentions when they first, got together and what I mean, like started this bromance of theirs. But obviously they were looking after their own interests, and then when their interests collided, this is when when things basically hit the wall.
But your question about the EV mandate is a very good one. Can we just watch a quick video explaining it? Do you have it, or do you want my one? Or?
Oh no, we can play yours. It's fine.
This is one I just found randomly, so I'm not sure how.
No worries. Hold on a second. Stop sharing that.
We have been standing by all morning.
Excuse me, guys.
Fair use.
Bit under the weather.
Morning long, watching Truth Social to see if President Trump would respond to the comments from Elon Musk about the president's tax and spending bill. Elon Musk calls it a disgusting abomination. But as of now, President Trump has yet to respond at all. Calls himself a counterpuncher, but remarkably quiet on this. So what's going on here? With us now, CNN Chief Data Analyst Harry Enton. So Elon Musk, in calling this a disgusting abomination, says it will explode the national debt, says it runs counter to all the work he did trying to cut government spending. What's the reality?
Please just never call me a disgusting abomination, John, please.
Never to your face.
Thank you. Behind me is perfectly fine. I mean, look, President Trump wants to send these DOGE cuts to Congress through the rescission process, and that, get this, would only bring down the national debt by about $9 billion. The big, beautiful bill over 10 years, get this, through the roof in terms of the federal deficits and the debt, up $2 trillion. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know that $9 trillion doesn't come anywhere close to $9 billion comes anywhere close to $2 trillion. So all of DOGE's work that they would send, at least a part of it, to Congress gets completely wiped off the map by the big, beautiful bill. No wonder Elon Musk is so upset.
So, as I said, he's taking on this bill. He's mostly critical of Congress here. In a battle between Elon Musk and Congress, who wins?
Yeah, who wins between Elon Musk and Congress? Well, look, Elon Musk is a very popular guy amongst Republicans, a plus 63 net favorability rating. Beats Mike Johnson at plus 46, who, of course, is the Speaker. How about John Thune, the Republican leader in the Senate? Only a plus 30. So if Musk is taking on these two gentlemen, it's not a fair fight. Elon Musk is a very popular dude. But he is nowhere close to where Donald Trump is within the Republican ranks. Look at that, a plus 79 net favorability rating. So if Donald Trump decides to turn his fire on Elon Musk, that is a fight that Elon Musk simply put cannot win. If Donald Trump stays out of it, he stands a pretty good chance, Elon Musk does, against Johnson and Thune.
It's interesting because, again, I've said Trump has been quiet
Yes.
so far this morning. I wonder if he'll look at this segment, he's a big Harry Etten fan, and say, you know what?
Many are.
My popularity is a lot greater than Elon Musk right now. Maybe I should weigh in. I'll be interested to see if he stays quiet on Truth Social all day. On the issue itself, Harry, when Elon Musk is criticizing the debt and deficits here, how much do voters really care?
Republican voters. They don't care. They don't care. I mean, look, cut taxes, even if the deficit increases. You know, you go back 33 years ago, it was just 22% who said cut taxes, even if the deficit increases. But the party of fiscal responsibility is no more. Now, 74% of Republicans say cut taxes, even if deficit increases. So if Donald Trump, more popular than Elon Musk, sticks his neck out, the Republican voters will absolutely be with him because they believe cut taxes, even if deficit increases, quite different than the way they were in the early 1990s.
You were no disgusting abomination. You were a glorious miracle.
You too, my friend.
Thank you, Harry Etten. Appreciate it.
In just a few hours, President Trump is going to host.
Spending of this bill actually exceeds all the work he did to try to find savings. So I can.
Okay, unfortunately, this video is just about the cuts. I'm looking for EV. How much does it cost him? Is the question. Okay, I can't find. Do you have a video on that?
You know, Elon's upset because we took the EV.
You still there, Octavia? You still there?
Sorry guys, I was on mute. Shouts to you. Got 17 of you guys watching. Shouts, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I'm just gonna play this video here. Sorry guys. No, you couldn't hear what I was saying earlier. I don't know. This before we get into the whole Epstein thing. Because that's one hell of a revelation, to be honest with you. Very interesting. I want to cover this bit here and give people some understanding as to what's going on in terms of when it comes down to business interests. So hold on a second, guys.
In the US, a formerly key political partnership is imploding in spectacular fashion tonight as a bitter war of words develops between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. During a press conference in the Oval Office, President Trump said he was surprised and disappointed at Mr. Musk's criticism of a key piece of his legislation. Elon Musk responded on the social media platform X, which he owns, with a series of increasingly disparaging remarks about his former boss, calling him ungrateful, saying that his tariffs will cause a recession, and alleging that he is named in the files of the late convicted sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein. Watching it all is Sarah Smith.
Give it to Elon as a presentation from our country.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elon.
A golden key to the White House was Elon Musk's leaving present. Now, less than a week later, Donald Trump might want to think about changing the locks.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised because
Today, the German Chancellor Friedrich Merz was the Oval Office guest star, but Elon Musk and his criticism of Mr. Trump's spending bill dominated the conversation, to the president's obvious irritation.
But I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden, he had a problem.
Just minutes later, Elon Musk replied on X saying, "False. This bill was never shown to me even once and was passed in the dead of night, so fast almost no one in Congress could even read it.
Where is he? Come on up here, Elon.
Mr. Musk obviously adored being in the spotlight as he campaigned alongside Donald Trump. Today, he's claiming that without him and the more than $250 million he donated, the president would have lost the election. They were once seen together everywhere. Now their row is being conducted in plain sight on social media. Mr. Trump on Truth Social upped the ante with, "Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy." Musk called that an obvious lie and then really escalated the abuse, suggesting Donald Trump has withheld files related to Jeffrey Epstein, who was arrested on charges of sex trafficking and died by suicide in jail, because he's named in them. Mr. Musk tweeted, "Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they've not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT."
Wow.
Mr. Musk and his chainsaw were brought into government to aggressively cut government spending. A pointless exercise, he thinks, if President Trump will blow all the savings on tax cuts in his spending bill.
You know, I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
Which is that one?
Donald Trump is now suggesting the easiest way to save money would be to terminate Elon Musk's billions of dollars in government contracts and subsidies. It was probably inevitable this bromance would turn sour, but no one expected it to go this bad, this fast.
We'll be speaking to Sarah in a moment, but first, our business editor, Simon Jack, is here. Simon, Elon Musk, known as the world's richest man, is he still?
He still is, but blimey, this has been an expensive foray into politics. I reckon Tesla shares are down 14% today, mainly on that comment about losing subsidies and contracts. That's the real killer here. It's not about the personalities, it's about the money. So I reckon Tesla shares have lost $140 billion worth today. He owns about a seventh of that, so you're about 20 billion down just on the day. That would be enough to put him in the top 10 of richest people in the UK on his losses just today. I reckon since the high point, the bromance, the height of the bromance, Tesla shares are down some 40%. So that's probably cost him about 70 billion. And don't forget, big losses also potentially on SpaceX. Now, SpaceX shares aren't publicly traded, but the US has largely outsourced a lot of their satellite program to Elon Musk. That's worth hundreds of billions as well, 350 billion. He owns 42% of that. If that was a publicly traded stock, I think it would be down even more than Tesla. So by my reckoning, since the height of their romance, he's lost over $100 billion. There are only 14 people in the history of the world who've ever made that much money. So as I say, one of the most expensive forays into politics of all time.
Huge figures there. Simon, thank you very much. Let's go back to Sarah Smith in Washington. And Sarah, this is all spectacular theatre, but what are the real world consequences of this spat?
Yeah, well, this could be really important for the Trump administration, an administration that this time last week, Elon Musk was at the absolute heart of, and as he was leaving, said he wanted to remain a close advisor to Donald Trump. Now, on social media, he's going so far as suggesting that Donald Trump ought to be impeached and replaced with the Vice President, J.D. Vance. I mean, it's such a quick turnaround. And it could really matter also because obviously Elon Musk has a very loud voice. He owns his own social media platform, X, so he can make his views and his criticism very much heard. But also he has that enormous checkbook, albeit he's lost a lot of money today. He still has a lot that he could spend. He had promised $100 million to be spent on political groups that are controlled by Donald Trump. Will that money now turn up? That seems quite unlikely. He might be more likely to target that at representatives and senators who, say, for instance, vote for this great big spending bill. He could then use his cash to target them to try and get them replaced by other candidates. That's something that representatives do genuinely worry about. And Elon Musk has a big enough checkbook to make that a real threat. So he can use his money to continue to try to influence policy. And then today on social media, among all the other things he's been saying, he's even suggested that he might start his own political party, which he could afford to finance. So far, he's had almost 2 million responses to that, with over 80% of them encouraging him to set up his own party.
Sarah, thank you very much. Sarah Smith there.
million responses to that, with over.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Elon
So-
has lost a lot of money.
Yeah, so but that's more on the stock market end of the things. In terms of the actual bill, I've had a look at it, and there's a few important measures. So for the EV credit, which was originally, I think, under Biden, 7,500 credit extended, lifted manufacturer cap. So you'd get about $7,000 cut off the price. And can you hear some noise in the background, or is everything fine?
Everything's fine right now.
Oh, cool. So yeah, that's been scrapped, and it's going to be phased out. In 1 second.
Yeah, I just heard something in the background.
Yeah, so that's been cut. So that credit has been cut. For used cars, under Biden, you used to get $4,000 in credit. Now you don't. For under the EV mandate, there's strict EPA emissions. That's been removed. What else is there? Actually, I can put it on the screen for you if you want. It might be easier.
Good.
1 second.
This is all before we got 19 of you guys watching. This is all before we get into the whole Epstein files. That's one crazy accusation to make. Do we believe Elon, who's at the moment feeling salty, if I'm honest? That's one crazy accusation to make. One crazy accusation to make. Have you got it?
Give me 1 second.
No worries. Welcome everyone to the Solution Podcast. Guys, if you've got any input on this issue, hold on, let me put the link. It's just quite fresh. I'll put the link in the comment section. So if any of you guys have any input on this, feel free to join us. Here's the link, guys. Here's the StreamYard link. Just click on it. I'll let you up, and you can give me your point of view on the story.
Can you see that?
Hold on a second. Yeah, let me just add it to the stage.
See.
Start hearing that. Let me add this to the stage. Guys, that's the link if you want to come up. Hold on a second. Yes, the EV. Yeah, can you please zoom? Yeah, if you don't mind.
I don't even know how to do that.
Even though I've got better eyesight than you. But bro, I'm feeling guilty about that thing in the group chat, man. And you need to
we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, man. I need to apologize to him. That was wrong of me, man.
We're all humans. So.
That's out of character. But I'm supposed to be better than most humans. So this is just can't believe it, bro.
Anyway, that's it. Can you read it? It's bigger now.
Sorry?
Can you read it now?
Hold on a second. Yes, federal EV tax credit, new care, Biden policy 7,500. Yeah, I can read it. Credit phased out by 2026. Caps return. All right. Let's see. Taxes. Break it down for me. What's it saying?
Okay, so the first one basically saying that the government's not going to subsidize it. Seems like, so that would mean that the Tesla cars are going to become a lot more expensive. The second one, used EV tax credit. So second-hand cars, they don't get tax credits as well. So that the government is not going to subsidize it. So you literally go online, try to buy a Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
What you'll see is this is the price, and then it shows you, well, this is the price now under savings. So this is the government showing you. They show you one price, and then after you go, it shows you like a before and after on the Tesla website.
Yeah.
How much it would be, but then with the tax credit, it shows you how. We can literally do it at some point. Shows you how much the cost reduction is because of the tax credits. So that's gone. So the EV the end user price will go up, and they won't be able to,
So basically, for the consumer,
yeah,
the price for Tesla cars is going up, basically.
yeah, but at least $7,500 each.
At least how much?
$7,500, as you can see, by end of 2026.
All for each person that's trying to buy one. 7,500. That's a lot of money, bro.
That is a lot of money, because that's how much the Tesla subsidized by the taxpayer. The company doesn't exist without the taxpayer.
Oh, okay. So what's Elon gonna do then?
Call him a pedophile?
Yo, man, that's not much of a friend then.
Yeah, that's why he's pissed off.
Oh my. Oh, so he loses a lot of money because the prices go completely up because he's not getting tax credits no more. And now, yeah, that type of that can lead to a breakdown in the friendship.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'll leave it up there, man, on the screen, guys. Listen, if you have any, extra information, we're trying to break this down as much as we possibly can. I'm new to the story. I'm learning as I go. So if you've got any more information in regards to what's going on here or how this breakup came to happen, here's the link. Please join us and offer your interpretation about this entire situation, and let's find out what's going on. But definitely, it's due to the breakdown of business interests. Yeah, so Elon is not getting tax credits anymore.
Yeah, and then you've got the fee as well. You've got an annual fee that they waived under Biden. Now that's in again. So it's like $250 a year in EV. You have to pay a fee to own the car to government, which is crazy. The goal of 50% of new vehicles by 2030, that's scrapped as well. So Trump is basically treating Elon Musk and Tesla like you might as well have not been there. Like who cares if you pay for my campaign and you supported me and you bought X and you pumped up the Republican Party and things like this. And remember, the whole reason for this, from what we hear, is that Joe Biden didn't give him special favors beyond what he's already giving him here. Trump is doing even worse. Trump is whatever Biden did for him, he's already scrapping as well.
What about Doge,
that's still around.
Doge.
Yeah, Doge is still around, but he's not the head anymore. His term is ended. That's why I gave him that special golden key.
But wasn't that supposed to be cutting unnecessary
cost?
Yeah, necessary cost.
This is the thing. It's the organization's always been around, but they were just giving him an honorary position. It was a position that the Doge already existed. It just had a different name under Biden. It's just that he's there pumping money into the campaign, and then they just gave him like some office boy type position. that had a time limit as well.
Thought Doge was doing really well. I mean, I'll be honest with you, under Biden, I didn't hear much about the government cutting costs the way they've been doing under Trump. And by the looks of it, they were doing a great job. They were, a lot of unnecessary spending was cut, and I was thinking, okay, that's great. I mean, what was that money being used for, man?
I think they were just cutting important NGOs or important organizations that fund NGOs, because ultimately Doge was already there. It was already there under Biden. It just had a different name, and it wasn't so rebranded. It's just Trump and Elon were just selling the idea that they were doing something new. The cost cutting organization, I can show you on a video. It was always there, and they were always Doge was there under a different name. It's just that they basically carved out a position for him, and even then, whatever, as you can see in the video, whatever he saved is it's just washed out the window, because with a $2 trillion debt increase, what does 9 billion matter? You know.
Exactly. But so ultimately, is this good for the American people? I mean, I can understand what's his name, Elon, throwing a tantrum because his business interests are not being, are not being looked after. But ultimately, is what Trump doing going to be good for the American people long term?
Probably. Probably. I haven't looked into the bill myself, but I can't imagine that it would have gone through the House of Representatives and would have been brought through, and it's bad for the country. It's something that is more long term than it is short term. So probably.
So in that case,
yeah.
Then what Trump's doing is, I mean, then I guess he's living up to his image. America first, and all of that nonsense. I hate politics. I really can't stand politics. It's one of the worst topics ever. But he's living up to his image. America first. I'm here for the people. I want to help. The people. Blah 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 blah. I mean that was his whole. Every time I see Trump, that's what I think of. The person that wants to put the American people first. So if what he's doing is going to ultimately help the American people long term, that's a good thing, right? I mean, to the point. I mean, that it's to the point where he's willing to sacrifice his relationship with Elon Musk, someone who has pumped millions and millions. How much has he pumped into?
I think like 200 million or something into his campaign.
Oh, what?
All for nothing, though.
Then Trump just does him like that. Yeah, that's messed up, man. That's messed up, Trump, man. You need to look after your friends a little bit better than this.
This is the thing. They weren't even friends. I mean, he used to insult him in the past.
Bro, you can become the best of friends through anything. You can be enemies at once and then become the best of friends, and then the relationship breaks down, and then you become friends again. But it looks like they had an honest friendship. I mean, if Trump is willing to just, I don't care what happens to you, Elon. I don't care about your business interests. I care about what I care about, and it seems like he cares more about America than he does about Elon. And I mean, I commend him for that. At least he's keeping it honest, all the way honest. He's not being fake or nothing.
I think he know. I mean, I think he knows that Elon is just using him and trying to, obviously use his money to influence decisions to help the EVs and things like this. But it's not a priority for him, and I don't think he actually liked him.
You don't think he actually likes him? Okay.
I don't think he ever liked him, and I think Elon.
You don't think he's like, okay, that's yeah.
I think it's just politics.
Yeah, because at one point I looked at Elon as Trump's right hand man. I'll be honest with you. I mean that's how the guy was being branded. But yeah, so okay. All right, we've covered that. Epstein.
Yes.
Why would? What have you got a tweet there? Can I see the tweet, bro? Can we put the tweet on the screen?
Yeah, let's put the tweet on the screen.
Guys, if you've got some more interesting information on what's been going on between Elon and Trump, please, guys, feel free to jump in and share it. I'm trying to find out as much as I possibly can in regards to this story, trying to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Yeah.
One second, where's the tweet? Let me find it.
Trying to get to the truth here. Oh, God. I want to see this tweet. It's one crazy thing to tweet.
Which one do you want to see?
Yo, does Elon strike as a very spiteful person?
Yes.
I thought it was only me.
He's a very bitter Weasley guy.
A very bitter Weasley guy. My days.
I personally love it. I love that.
I know you do. I know you do. But I'm still feeling guilty about that other thing. Well, can you zoom in, please? Zoom in a bit more. Time to drop the So this is the really big bomb to assassinate a person's character. Real Donald Trump in the Epstein files. This is the real. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT, Donald J. Trump, right?
And he goes on to say, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out.
Hold on. Alex, what was Alex? I don't know. You know all about Alex Jones, isn't it? Yeah. Trump needs to respond ASAP. Who are you for him to respond ASAP? I noticed he did not take questions at his public meeting today. David J. Harris, you just lost all credibility. So that's just regular people commenting.
Nobody's.
I mean, I like what that JB Harris guy said. It kind of, that's exactly how I felt. I felt, wow, like you used to be close to this guy, but because this has nothing to do with the the business side of things, and then you just air that out for everyone to hear. It's like, why don't you keep it in house? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if that's something that you and whatever knows about, why only now? Why? It's like my business interests have been hurt, so now I'm gonna start being spiteful and releasing personal information about people. This is crazy.
Making accusations. Making accusations. Yeah.
Would you ever do
that? If I was no.
Bro, you have to think about that. No. You have to think about that. I would never.
I would think about the question.
If I don't tell you to your face what I think of you, I'm never. Trust me, I can't just air out your personal problems like that. I can't do it. I really can't do it. That's crazy. That is crazy.
The question
what do you reckon, bro?
Oh, the question is, why would Elon do this? And here's the video that really, like, as soon as I saw him say that, my first thought was, Elon Musk is lying, although I support it. And Elon Musk is just being bitter about the whole situation because he's come in thinking, I'm the big boss, I'm going to do whatever. And then his life has gone to ruins, 13 or 14 baby mamas, his business crashing, everybody celebrating on the destruction of his Tesla company. Donald Trump just like stabbing him in the back like that, like, you're nobody. I don't care about these EVs and wasting money on these stupid, crappy cars that you think. He's very, very, very entitled. He's unbelievably, because he's got the like intelligence and the money to support his entitlement, but it's just like you got to know your levels. You can't just be like accusing the head of state as being a PDF file and just going on like, oh yeah, well, you didn't give me the money, so I'm gonna question your character like that.
Yeah, that's what I was.
He's the president. Like, like he could ruin your company like right now. He could just say, you know what? No more money for Tesla, not even a penny. He's already doing that. And no more money for SpaceX as well, on top of that.
Well, yes, that's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, he could just say, SpaceX, and then you're out of business. You're immediately out of business. Like, all right,
immediately, completely. Yeah. But bro, when you said that baby mamas, that made me. That gave me the ick. as these modern white feminist girls would say. Sorry, modern women in general, not just white. But the reason why I say that is because Elon is not having sex with these women.
He's just giving them sperm in the post, or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How busy can you be? Like,
yeah, when you like, he's got like how many baby mothers. I'm assuming these low character guys who low morals that just go around having sex with different women, lust-driven, hedonistic guys that's out there. They just so sex addicts. They just go around having sex with them and getting them pregnant. That's what I'm thinking. That's not Elon. Elon, like you said, he sends the sperm in the post. He said, "All right, look, I want you to be a wife. There's a check there as well. Knock yourself out. Just make sure it's a boy, and I'll have the boy at the end." Oh, good. Okay, so what's this video about? Watch Jordan Peterson's face as Sam Harris attacks Elon. Okay.
Yeah. So I think this is the video, but basically Sam Harris has been a friend with Elon Musk for quite a while. And then they took a turn on each other after C-19. Remember C-19 in 2020? That whole pandemic situation.
The plan. Okay, so this is it. Pandemic, pandemic. Which one is it? Like,
we say C-19. I say C-19 because of the.
No. Which one are you more inclined to?
What's my theory? You're saying?
No. Because I forgot what it was. Was it a pandemic or was it a plandemic? Which one was it?
Well, it depends. Which are you trying to ask my political views?
Oops, I've messed up there. No, because everyone's been calling it pandemic for so long now.
Yeah.
I completely forgot it started off as a pandemic, right? And now.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's a good point.
Yeah, because everyone that talks about it everyone that talks about it now always addresses it as a pandemic. All right, go on. So okay.
Should I make sure this is the video? Because he said some really interesting things in the video that I saw. I think this is the video. Which is if it's the one I remember, as soon as I saw his tweet, I thought to myself, "You're lying, but you're doing it anyway. I'm supporting you anyway because this supports my interests." Should I play the video? And if it's the wrong one, should I stop it?
Play the video. If it's the wrong one, just cut it. Yeah.
Okay.
He was so addicted to it that he felt he needed to buy the platform.
Listen to Sam's take on it, and I think you'll see how we're connecting it to everything else.
I mean, look at what Twitter has done to Elon's life, right? It's just, Elon used to be a friend. He's somebody I knew reasonably well. His engagement with Twitter has been catastrophic for him as a person, from my point of view. I mean, it's clearly a compulsion. I mean, he was so addicted to it that he felt he needed to buy the platform. But it is his use of it has been so irresponsible and produced such. I mean, forget about the harm he's produced in other people's lives. And nothing I'm saying now it relates to changes he's made to the platform. I mean, that's a separate thing that we can talk about. I've always been agnostic as to whether or not he could actually improve Twitter as a platform, and he may yet wind up doing that. But I'm just talking about the way he has personally used it as a user of the platform, and the way he's interacted with people and signal boosted massively the profiles of anonymous QAnon lunatic trolls. Right? I mean, he's been completely cavalier in who he interacts with, all the while knowing that anyone he boosts suddenly gets 1 million followers and has a platform that they otherwise couldn't imagine having. So I look at him and I think, all right, if someone of his talent, who has so many other good things to do with his 24 hours in any given day, is this derailed by this platform? Is using it this compulsively, to the obvious degradation of his reputation in most circles that.
So interesting. His obvious degradation in most circles that count. Now, that sounds like quite an elitist statement. My position is obvious. The guy has bought this thing because he has been defending free speech. It's what he spends all day long talking about on the platform.
I don't need to hear this David Rubin guy. But did he? I have to step out for a second. Did he mention his Elon Musk lying on Twitter?
No, I mean, he was mainly talking about how dependent he became of X. That's what he was talking about. He became quite dependent on it.
So basically, the video that I saw
was this before he bought Twitter.
That video is just as soon as he bought Twitter. So Sam Harris went on to explain how Elon Musk was lying about him on Twitter, and then Elon just told him to piss off, and I don't care if I'm telling the truth or if I'm lying.
Oh, I see.
That's the video I wanted to play. I don't know if it's that video. Let me see.
Let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Elon Musk and Sam Harris. So earlier today, you pointed out the big scandal right now about Elon and video games.
Okay, so is this it?
Nancy Pelosi's husband being attacked, not as he was by some lunatic, but that it's just some gay tryst gone awry, right? That's not what it seems. And you link to a website that continuing to do amazing things. And I think he's, I think if many of his aspirations are realized, the world will be a much better place. I think it's amazing to see what he's built and what he's attempted to build and what he may yet build. And
so with Tesla, with SpaceX, with
I'm a fan of almost all of that. I mean, there are wrinkles to a lot of that, or some of that.
All humans are full of wrinkles.
There's something very Trumpian about how he's acting on Twitter. I mean, Twitter. I think he thinks Twitter is great. He bought the place because he thinks it's so great. I think Twitter's driving him crazy, right? I think he's needlessly complicating his life and harming his reputation and creating a lot of noise and harming a lot of other people. I mean, so like the thing that I objected to with him on Twitter is not that he bought it and made changes to it. I mean, that was not. I remain agnostic as to whether or not he can improve the platform. It was how he was personally behaving on Twitter, not just toward me, but toward the world. I think when you forward an article about Nancy Pelosi's husband being attacked, not as he was by some lunatic, but that it's just some gay tryst gone awry, right? That's not what it seems. And you link to a website that previously claimed that Hillary Clinton was dead and that a body double was campaigning in her place. That thing was exploding in Trumpistan as a conspiracy theory, right? And it was having its effect. And it matters that he was signal boosting it in front of 130 million people. And so it is with saying that your former employee, Yoel Roth, is a pedophile, right? I mean, it's like that has real consequences. It appeared to be complete bullshit. And now this guy's getting inundated with death threats, right? And Elon, that's totally predictable, right? And he's behaving quite recklessly. And there's a long list of things like that he's done on Twitter. It's not ethical. It's not good for him. It's not good for the world. It's not serious. It's just it's a very adolescent relationship to real problems in our society. And so my problem with how he's behaved is that he's purported to touch real issues by turns. Like, okay, do I give the satellites to Ukraine or not? Do I minimize their use of them or not? Should I publicly worry about World War III or not? Right? He's doing this shit on Twitter, right? And at the same moment, he's doing these other very impulsive, ill-considered things, and he's not showing any willingness to really clean up the mess he makes. He brings Kanye on, knowing he's an anti-Semite who's got mental health problems, and then kicks him off for a swastika, which I probably wouldn't have kicked him off for a swastika. It's like that's even like, can you really kick people off for swastikas? Is that something that you get banned for? I mean, are you a free speech absolutist if you can't let a swastika show up? I'm not even sure that's enforceable terms of service, right? There are moments to use swastikas that are not conveying hate and not raising the risk of violence.
Clip that.
Yeah. But so much of what he's doing, given that scale matters. He's doing this in front of 130 million people. That's very different than 1 million people. And that's very different than 100,000 people. And so when I went off the tracks with Elon, he was doing this about COVID And again, this was a situation where I tried to privately mitigate a friend's behavior, and it didn't work out very well.
Did you try to correct him, sort of highlighting things he might be wrong on?
Yeah.
Or did you use the Lex Power Love method? I should write like a pamphlet for Sam Harris to
Well, no,
follow.
but it was totally coming from a place of love, because I was concerned about his reputation. I was concerned about what
Sure.
there was a twofold concern. I could see what was happening with the tweet. I mean, he had this original tweet that was, I think it was panic over COVID is dumb, or something like that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is in March. This is early March, 2020.
Oh,
right.
super early days.
Super early. So when nobody knew anything, but we saw what was happening in Italy. Right. It was totally kicking off.
God, that was a wild time. That's
And
when the
it's
toilet
wild.
paper.
It was totally wild. But that became the most influential tweet on Twitter for that week. I mean, it had more engagement than any other tweet, more than any crazy thing Trump was tweeting. I mean, it went off again. It was just a nuclear bomb of information, and I could see that people were responding to it like, wait a minute. Okay, here's this genius technologist who must have inside information about everything, right? Surely he knows something that is not on the surface about this pandemic. And they were reading into it a lot of information that I knew wasn't there, right? And I at the time, I didn't think he had any reason to be suggesting that. I think he was just firing off a tweet, right? So I reached out to him in private, and I mean, because it was a private text conversation, I won't talk about the details, but I'm just saying, that's a case, among the many cases of friends who have public platforms and who did something that I thought was dangerous and ill-considered. This was a case where I reached out in private and tried to help, genuinely help, because it was just, I thought it was harmful in every sense, because it was being misinterpreted. And it was like, oh, okay, you can say that panic over anything is dumb, fine, but this was not how this was landing. This was like non-issue, conspiracy, there's going to be no COVID in the US. It's going to peter out. It's just going to become a cold. I mean, that's how this was getting received. Whereas at that moment, it was absolutely obvious how big a deal this was going to be, or that it was going to, at minimum, going to be a big deal.
I don't know if it was obvious.
Bro, I mean, I don't want to get into that topic, but from what we know now,
yeah,
I'm sorry to say, but Elon was right.
That's the question. Well, a lot of people died, and okay, but the point is, the way he responds to him is the important part.
Oh, I see.
He's just coming up now.
All right.
But it was obvious that it was a significant probability that it could be a big. Yeah. I remember in March, it was unclear, like how big, because there were still stories of it. Like it's probably going to, like, the big concern, the hospitals might overfill, but it's going to die out in like 2 months or something.
Yeah, we didn't know, but there was no way we weren't going to have tens of thousands of deaths at a minimum at that point, and it was totally rational to be worried about hundreds of thousands. And when Nicholas Christakis came on my podcast very early, he predicted quite confidently that we would have about 1 million people dead in the U.S. Right, and that didn't seem, it was I think appropriately hedged, but I mean, it was just like, okay, it's just gonna, you just look at we're just kind of riding this exponential, and it's going to be, it'd be very surprising not to have that order of magnitude, and not something much, much less. And so anyway, I mean, to close the story on Elon, I could see how this was being received, and I tried to get him to walk that back, and then we had a fairly long and detailed exchange on this issue, and that intervention didn't work, and it was not done. I was not an asshole. I was just concerned, for him, for the world, And then there are other relationships where I didn't take but again, that's an example where taking the time didn't work, right? Privately. There are other relationships where I thought, okay, this is just going to be more trouble than it's worth. And so I just ignored it, and there's a lot of that. Again, I'm not comfortable with how this is all netted out because I don't know if, and I'm not, frankly, I'm not comfortable with how much time in this conversation we've spent talking about these specific people. Like, what good is it for me to talk about Elon or Brett or any of these
I think there's a
people
lot of
in
good
public?
because
Okay, so this is not the video I'm thinking of. But basically, long story short, he privately messages Elon. And Elon was basically just saying, shut the hell up. This pandemic is going to die out, blah, blah. And then Elon just goes on Twitter and says, Sam Harris is an idiot. And this guy's a piece of crap or whatever. And then Sam goes, oh, why are you lying about me on Twitter and saying things about me? And then Elon just says, shut up, and just blocks him. So this is, I use this example as an indication of what Elon's like. He uses Twitter to just affirm his own opinions and glorifies himself to a certain degree. And now he's in a sense met his match because he's bigger than Sam Harris in terms of influence and fame and money and cultural influence and things like this, to the point where this guy is going out of his way to defend Elon Musk, even though he doesn't know what he's talking about. This Lex Friedman, who's a Sam Harris cheerleader, Elon Musk cheerleader, whatever, right? And Sam Harris is a bit of a Democrat, so he doesn't like Elon for other reasons. Now, anyway. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
Yeah. So when I heard Elon make the statement that such and such is on the Epstein files, you put two and two together. Elon has been not praised given the level of praise he thought he should expect from his time at Doge. Trump just says, you know what, the bill's going through. Your company's got to survive. However's going to survive. Don't really care. And now that he's butthurt by the whole situation, and he's making this public, he's on the Epstein list, what have you, which is kind of like if you already knew that he was on the Epstein list, meaning he went to the Epstein's Island more than once, or whatever.
Then you're complicit.
Huh?
Then you're complicit.
Yeah, like you knew. Why now? Why now when it's bad for business? Well, now when it comes out that there's no more money for you and your EVs and such, now you're saying this. Well, it's the case of just butthurt.
It's like me being a friend of Butthurt. That reminds me of a certain character.
Not me, though.
No. Butthurt reminds me of a certain person. Good saying that. Yeah, if you're friends with a criminal, you knew he was a criminal all this time, and now that you've fallen out, it's like, so in public, this entire time you've been saying that he's a great guy, fantastic guy, blah blah blah, upstanding, all of this nonsense, and then as soon as you two fall out, oh, did you guys know that he's actually a drug dealer too, and he's a gangster? It's like, what? So hold on, what does that say about you as a person? Because you knew that all along. When you were friends with him, you knew all about that. Because I mean, if you're releasing this information, so what's basically happening here is if Trump would have caved in and served his interests, Elon's interests, business interests, if you'd have done that, then guess what? We would never know, why we would never know about Epstein and Trump. So, I mean, that's what I'm hearing. I mean, but what does that say about Elon's character as a person?
Yeah, it shows you praise me, you love me, and I will support you. And he's a cult leader, and he wants to be a cult. That's why he's got so many kids and doing all types of weird stuff. This is one video I saw. Like, this is why I like Donald. I don't like Donald Trump, but I respect him. I respect that he has. Look at this. Look at this video.
And go out, by the way, while I'm here, and sign up now for Truth Social. It's hot as a pistol, and you see that. I call that one right. Leon, I tell you what. Elon is not going to buy Twitter. Where did you hear that before? From me. From a fake account. She says fake. A lot of them. Nah, he's got himself a mess. You know, he said the other day, oh, I've never voted for a Republican. I said, I didn't know that. He told me he voted for me. So he's another bullshit artist, but he's not going to be buying it. He's not going to be buying it. Although he might later. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? He's got a pretty rotten contract. I looked at his contract. Not a good contract. But he's not. Sign up for truth. We love the truth. And it's doing good.
Okay, so this is not the video I was thinking of, but that's him calling him a bullshit.
Videos, bro.
Huh?
Yeah, it's still called him a bullshit artist, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't respect that. I'm sorry, I really don't respect that about Elon. So you were aware of this all this time, you were cool with it. So basically, things went your way. We would never know. You would have, because you would have never said anything. So you're willing to do a deal with the devil. So you're willing to. This is the type of guy that would do a deal with the devil as long as the devil don't crush him or don't say anything to upset him. Or don't say anything to get on his bad side. It's like, bro, as soon as you get on my bad side, I'm gonna go and tell everyone, you know, about our little secrets, about your secrets, about what you really do. Like that's just.
I've made it bigger if you want to read it. When Elon Musk came to me.
Yeah, when Elon Musk came to the White House asking me for help on all of his many subsidized projects, whether it's electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere, without which subsidies he'd be worthless, and telling me how he was a big Trump fan and Republican. I could have said, drop to your knees and beg, and he would have done it. Wow. Hold on. When did he? Yo. Hold on. When did he? Yo. When did he?
He made this, I think, back in. So this is the back in 2022 or something.
So it was a fake friendship. Then. Oh.
Here's another one.
But was this like during the pandemic days?
No. This is 2022.
Now Elon should focus on getting himself out of the Twitter mess because he could owe 44 billion for something that's perhaps worthless. Also, lots of competition for electric cars. Mind you, X is doing really well.
Financially, it's kind of not doing well. I think in terms of, is it doing well? I don't know. It's popular.
Nice, definitely.
It's probably one of the reasons he might be doing it, though.
Yeah, you can't deny its popularity. And if you decided to attack him on X, he knows that it's going to be news the next day, and it has been, and it is news next. Wow. So okay. This is a madness, man. This is a madness. But bro, I'm having some technical issues. We're gonna have to end the live soon. Don't know why this is happening, but well, I'm in shock. I'll be honest with you, but would you behave like Elon?
No, especially against the president who's so popular. All you do is you sell cars for a living. You're meant to be focusing on the cars and sales and things like this, not necessarily politics, which is just a dirty business, because like you don't want to be too much in the limelight to a certain degree. You want to be famous, to sell your brand or whatever. But the idea that I'm going to call the president a PDF file after he's been hanging out, I've been hanging out with him. I've been living in his house for a while as well. He was sleeping at the White House for a while. I've been cool with you. I gave you $200 million. It's like, but then again, this guy's he's worth $400 billion. He could lose 200 million. He'll still be in the top 2 richest people in the world or something. So, like, what does he have to lose? I mean, and then Trump is going to be out in 3 years or something. He even said, Trump has got another 3 years. I've got another 40 or something like this. So, and he's thinking about funding his own political
Okay,
party.
yeah.
So,
But the
it's a
thing
case
is,
of, yeah.
I couldn't trust him though.
I couldn't trust him. What was that again? If you worked for him?
No, if he became a, if you start running for politics, if you start campaigning, I wouldn't trust him. I don't trust that type of character. Someone that will air out. That's a very female. I don't mean to, when I say female, what I really mean.
Stereotype.
Yeah, it sounds like a stereotype, but it kind of is. And I'm not talking about the traditional women, that live by morals. I'm talking about these modern women that just go out there and air out everything, about a person. It's like we used to be friends one time. Even if we started off rocky, we became friends. And now what? You're gonna go and air out I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, of course, this is not. I mean, if you knew this person was with Epstein, why the hell did you do business with him? Like, why was he on your friend list? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, what? If I knew some of my friends that were hanging around with Epstein, and they might have done some suspect things, I mean, I would be wary. I would be like, no, I don't agree with this. Like, I'm sorry. Like, friendships got to go, but the public would never hear about that. Like, just end the friendship behind closed doors. The public don't need to hear about it. But he was hanging around with Trump this whole time, and he knew about this. Like, what kind of character is that? Can you imagine this guy as a president? It's like, if things don't go my way,
this guy was World War III, man.
So that's what I'm trying to say. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's the type of character this guy has. What?
Unstable,
I didn't get my way. You guys should have, you should have done what I told you to do. But what's this video?
Oh, this is just. It was going to end on this. Because you want to end soon, right? Because of the battery.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on.
Know what's going on with Elon Musk and President Trump on Twitter right now?
Oh man, the girls are fighting, aren't they? I would say that this was something that was a long time coming, where we've been seeing that these two huge egos were not long for being together in this world as friends, and so I think this breakup we've been seeing a long time coming, but we'll see what the impacts are of it legislatively.
He's a very untrustworthy character. If you look back, this is the guy who was trying to help out with the Thailand boys being stuck in the cave. The boys stuck in a cave in Thailand.
Yeah.
And then he just called the guy who's helping out in the situation, who said to Elon Musk, "We don't need your help. It's fine. We'll do it ourselves." He called him a pedo guy on Twitter.
Yo, are you serious?
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, you're a pedo, bro."
What, just out of nowhere, no context. Like,
you don't know the story?
No, like.
Oh wow! So basically, he was trying to help out. Some boys were stuck in a cave in Thailand, and one of the divers, one of the people trying to help out the whole situation, the guy said, "We don't need your help. It's fine. We got this." And he just tweets out, "Oh, bro, you're a pedo." And just.
I mean, look, he was right about the pandemic thing.
Yeah.
Regardless if he's right or not, I'm just talking about his character as a person.
Yeah.
Whether he's right or wrong, it's like I'm not talking about. He could be right. He could be right about Epstein's dealing with Trump, or Trump's dealing with Epstein. He could be right about that. Maybe, what's his name? Trump was out there with Epstein doing some questionable things. Okay, we don't know, but he could be right about that. But I'm just looking at his character as a person. Like we've been saying, this is the type of guy that if he became president, he would start World War III because he didn't get his way. But the thing is, he's willing to go to bed with even what you just told me about the pedo shit, the pedo thing. He just called it pedo. He might even have some inside knowledge to just you're a pedo. You know what I'm saying? He might even be right about that. But the thing is, he was in bed with Trump this entire time, and now you're accusing him of something as heinous as you were an Epstein file, and that's the only reason why it hasn't come out yet, because your name is on it. And to me, I just find that's his character is very spiteful. He's untrustworthy. This guy, you can't trust this guy.
Yeah, no way.
On anything. Yeah. Like if I have a friendship with someone and he does something that is wrong, I would rather end it, like, unless what he's done is criminal. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, fine. Report him to the authority because he might be a danger to the public. But the thing is, even then, I would handle it privately. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna go on social media, the social media platform, be like, this person did this and did that and did that. You know what I'm saying? It would be like, let me call the authorities, let me go and blah blah blah. I would approach him myself. I would tell him to his face, what you're doing is wrong and all of that. If you knew this was happening, if you knew this was the case with Trump, why the hell did you remain friends with him?
That's what Twitter's saying. They're saying you knew this all this time, and you're saying it now. You're. That's why a lot of Twitter is siding on Trump's side now, because Trump has dealt with it in a very calm, cool manner, and he's made it very clear that you're not going to faze me. He's not phasing it.
Yeah, you're not going to troll me, man. As I know, I'm not going to do it. I'm not even gonna let it. You know what I mean? Like the way Trump is dealing with it is like, what? He's not even paying attention to it. That's how Trump is dealing with it. And I don't think it's trolling. Like, I don't think Elon is trolling. I think what he's saying about Trump might be true. I think it is true.
I think it is true.
I think it is true. And but people. But the problem is, it's like, and that's another thing. He doesn't think before he acts. He didn't think of this, which means he's not very morally conscious. He doesn't think, okay, what kind of person does that? What kind of person does that make me? What kind of person does it make me if I just go out and I air this out and I tell everyone that the reason why this is not coming out, the Epstein files, is because of Trump's name? What kind of morally speaking, what kind of person is it? No, this is not for the world. This is for him as a person, as a human being. For him to ask himself that question: what kind of person am I to do this? If I air this out, I don't think he's.
What are the consequences, though?
No, forget the consequences. Because consequences have to do with selfishness and all of that. It's for my best interest. You know what I mean? Like, he's not thinking to himself, okay, morally speaking, is it right for me to air this out?
But morals are valued because there are consequences for not having morals. So I feel like Elon Musk fears no consequences. That's why he has no morals. I think underpinning morals is the fear of consequences.
No, morally speaking, this is how I would break it down morally. I would say, no, what does that say about me? Yes, I will air this up, but what does that say about me?
What does it say about you?
Yeah, it says that I was aware of this. I knew this.
Yeah.
I did nothing about it.
Yeah.
And the fact that I don't care about it. That's why I was in bed with. That's why I was friends with him, and I did not do anything about it.
But to be fair,
I didn't really care about it.
In this scenario, just to give you a bit of context, you're sending your sperm by post to women, so I don't know.
No, but I'm just saying, morally speaking, like, he's not morally conscious. Like, he just tweeted that out. He just put that out on X. By the way, that's the reason why, because it's implying that Trump did some questionable things. That's the implication, with Epstein. But then again, you were there with him. You were friends with him. You were behind him 100%. All of that. What does that say about you as a person? So instead of him, that's the kind of questions I would have asked myself before I aired any of this out. Like, I would first look, what does this say about me as a person? But he doesn't, like I said, he's not morally conscious. He doesn't care. He doesn't care at all what does that says about him. He just cares about, having people, obviously is upset about what's happened. He wants people to look at Trump in a certain way. He obviously wants to end Trump's presidency. If he could, he would.
He asked him to. He said he should be impeached.
There you go. It's like things did not go my way.
How are you talking about the president? Oh my God, that's crazy.
Because he doesn't get his way. When he doesn't get his way, he's not morally conscious. He will say the most. He doesn't care how he looks either.
Because he's got all the money in the world. He's got as many kids as he wants. He's got political influence, global influence. He's the head of. I feel like he's the apex of the red pill.
He is. It really is. He really, really, really is.
He's got all the money, all the power, all the surface level stuff. He's 6'3", a bit overweight, but fair enough. Who cares?
You had to mention that.
Yeah, because they'll talk. Oh, but bro, you got to be 6 foot. You got to have abs. But he's 6'2", 6'3". He's got 400 billion or whatever crazy amount of money he's got. He's got X amount of women at his. He can literally just text women like, well, not that they'll fall at his knees, but it's a payday for some of these women. He's got X amount of kids, as many kids as he needs, all boys coincidentally. He's got political power. He's networking. Whatever they talk about networking, he's got networking skills. He's got rockets. He's got fame. He's everything that a red pill, secular red pill person could ever want. So he's got to be like, why would you look at the president and say,
missed one.
Huh?
You missed one thing.
What did I miss?
How is this battery still there? You missed one thing. He hates women enough to not even sleep with them.
Yeah, his baby mamas were texting him. Two of them, not texting him, but they were so mech. They were trying to get his attention through Twitter.
Yeah, he hates women enough to not even sleep with, to not even give them the courtesy of having a sexual interaction with them in order to procreate. That's how disinterested this is how much he thinks of these women. You know, it speaks to his hatred for these women that to him they're so low. You know what I mean? They're so he doesn't even think about it. They're so outside of his radar that he doesn't even consider them. Like, it's like, okay, here's a check. Make sure it's a boy. Hurry up.
That's crazy. And one of his boys turned into a girl.
Yeah, and he made sure that everyone knew about how he felt towards the situation, and again took no accountability. That's another thing. Took no accountability and blamed it on the
woke culture,
on the woke culture, instead of him saying, you know what, I'm just a degenerate liberal, head of the red pill. I'm just a degenerate liberal that didn't raise my kids, didn't give my kids a moral education when I've got the money to do so, and I could have done if I wanted to, but I decided not to do it. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna blame the woke culture. I'm gonna blame everyone else apart from me. Every time I see people blaming everything else, everyone else aside from themselves, I'm just thinking, yeah, Yeah, this is that. What's that ideology called? A victimhood mentality. You know, I've been hurt. You know, that's the whole red pill is a victimhood mentality. These women, these women, these women. You know, these times, you know, they just as degenerate as these women, as these women. But yeah, so I would say, yeah, I would say victimhood mentality is something that he suffers from, and I think that's his true belief system. You know, it's everyone else's fault, and he's very spiteful by the looks of
Very,
it.
yeah,
Very
very
spiteful.
smart.
I don't know how this
What
is
do,
still.
what,
Mm.
what do you think is going to happen next?
He's going to continue to release personal information about that person, about Trump.
So he has the information.
Because the thing is, there has to be a resolution to this. There has to be some kind of like he has to feel like he got something out of this. You know, that has to happen. You know, so the spiteful games are not gonna stop, not anytime soon. Because right now everyone's thinking because he said what he just said. Everyone's thinking about this now. It's like every time you look at Trump now, you're gonna be like, "Oh, Elon said this about him being in the Epstein files." You know, that's that. So the Epstein files have not come out because Trump is in there. That's going to be on everyone's mind. That's what everyone's going to be thinking. Every time you look at Trump, you're going to be thinking that in your head. And you're like, I want to see these. I want to see these files now. You know what else is in these files? You know, can we trust Trump if he was hanging around with someone like Epstein? You know, so this is what everyone's going to be thinking about. So he's going to have to answer for this, for what he just said. Something has to give. Something has to come out to bring this story to an end, to bring what's going on to an end. And I don't think he's going to have to get his pound of flesh. That's what I think is going to happen. He needs to get his pound of flesh. This is what I'm thinking about. What's his name? Elon here. He needs to get his pound of flesh because he feels betrayed. He feels like Trump stabbed him in the back. It feels like Trump used him, you know, to win the election. It feels like that. It feels hard done by. You know, instead of him saying, you know, that's life and move on, he's going to be like, no, I'm not going to accept that.
I think you're right. I think he's gonna push because he's gonna be asked questions about it. And I don't think he's gonna let it go.
It's charging. Yes.
I think Biden. I think Trump he's gonna let it go. He's gonna like, I got bigger fish to fry. I don't need some random citizen because that's all he is now. He doesn't work for the government anymore.
Some random citizen chatting shit.
Yeah. On Twitter, because even Trump's a lot of Trump's responses were made on Truth Social because he's got his own platform, so he doesn't even need Elon. So he's gonna let it go. I think he's gonna move on. I think Elon's gonna run out of steam at some point.
Look, I don't care how angry I am. I'm just not gonna air out personal business about a certain person. And I'm not saying that we've not been guilty of saying things and doing bad things and all that. I'm not saying that everyone else is perfect and Elon is evil and all of that. But I just can't like to say something this huge, like the implications here. What's being implied here? You know, the reason why these files won't come out is because thing is in it. It's like what you're implying here is huge. You know, I just don't think I could say something that big about a person. You know, and how did he come to this knowledge? I'm sure Trump must have they were getting drunk or something. Trump was like, "Yeah, did you know the reason why the files won't come out because I'm in it?" Smoking weed or something.
I don't think he's involved in. I don't think he knows anything. I don't think Trump.
How did you find that?
I don't think it's even true. I don't think. Well, it's probably true, but I don't think he's been anywhere near the files. I don't think they even let him anywhere near. I think they knew him from a distance. They're like, you got money, you got influence, but we're politicians. We don't care. Like, even Nigel Farage kind of, when Elon Musk was supporting Tommy Robinson and said Tommy Robinson is a political prisoner and you need to let him free. Even Nigel Farage was like, bro, relax, man. This guy's Tommy Robinson's a waste man. Is a low person of low character as he is.
Wow. I love Tommy Robinson. Shout out to Tommy Robinson. Go on.
Okay.
It's gone quiet.
Are you in the Epstein files?
No, but what I'm saying, yeah,
he's failed to influence the political.
Everyone can just be honest about what they think about different things. And this is what I love about Solution Podcast. But what I'm basically saying is, how did he come to that knowledge? I mean, if he can't see the files, someone must have told him, and no one is just going to give you that information willy-nilly.
But it's not really important information. Somebody goes, "Oh, you know, Donald Trump's in the Epstein files." It's like it's not a surprise he's in the Epstein files. He's in the Epstein files.
No, he's saying the reason why.
Oh, the reason why.
Not come.
Yeah.
It's because he's on the Epstein files. Now, as you know, I'm just watching this. Now I'm thinking, okay, what does it say about Trump that they think this shouldn't come out? So he's saying the only reason why this hasn't come out yet is just because Trump is president. Okay, if there's nothing there, then just release it.
There is something there, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So whatever is in there,
yeah,
it must not be good.
But yeah, it must not be good. But he's the president now. What can you do? I mean,
no, I'm not saying you can do anything, but what I'm saying is, but and that's another thing. You can't just say stuff about the president like that.
Yeah,
and just make anything up, because he's not some nobody. You know what I mean? Just talking about him that no one's gonna. It's Elon Musk. He was. I mean, this guy had a position in Trump's government. You know, and like he said, he has been influential. He has donated a lot of money. He's not some nobody, bro. He's huge.
Yeah.
You mentioned when you think of Trump, you think of Elon Musk. So he's not. This is not nobody making a comment like this. This is someone who knows the person. You know, like he knows him. You know what I'm saying, on a personal level. So, and this is why I'm thinking the only way you could have come by that information, you know, is if they was smoking something and drinking something, you know, and while cracking jokes. Trump must have let it slip.
Trump, he doesn't drink, Trump.
Yeah, I know he tells you that. I'm sure he does. I'm just joking. Does he smoke?
No, he probably doesn't.
I don't know. You might say one thing to everyone else, another to you know, behind closed doors. But what I'm saying is like, how did he come by that information? Because you're not going to be someone at that level who's that close to the president saying these things without being held accountable.
Okay.
So if what he's saying is a lie,
yeah,
I'm sure there's ways of holding him accountable for talking like this about the president.
No, not necessarily. Freedom of speech, isn't it? You just say whatever you want.
Does it exist? No, there's freedom of speech and defamation.
But it's like, you're in the Epstein files. I mean, he isn't technically in the Epstein files.
Bro, I can see
That's why it's not coming out.
Whoever's Trump's lawyers, he must be thinking, hold on, what is he trying to imply here?
But he can't go. Like Elon Musk has money for days. He could hire a whole legal firm and pay them for the next 100 years, and he still wouldn't run out of money. It would just be bad for. It would just be bad for. It would just be bad for Trump, just wasting his time. Then that kind of is like you're hiding something.
Oh, days. I don't know. I just don't know how he came by this information. Who told him? I don't know if he's just saying it for the sake of saying it.
I think he's saying it for the sake of saying it. I think he's butthurt that he's losing money, and this is what he does when he doesn't get what he wants. When he throws his
Yeah, but when your butt hurt, you don't. The only way to hurt someone else is by saying something that's true about someone else.
Yes.
So, for example, if someone else's butt hurt, if I'm let's say, you know, let's say someone is trying to, I've done something or said something to piss someone else off.
Yeah.
And that person is butthurt. Now he says something about me, but if what he said about me is not true, I'm not gonna care. I'm not gonna care. People only care when if what they said is true.
Yeah.
Not just true, but you know what I mean? Like, do they care about it? You know what I mean? Like, you have the other person has to care up to a certain extent in order for whatever that the other person said to matter. Do you see what I'm saying? If they say something, this person is this and the other person is comfortable. Let's say that the other person says something embarrassing about the other person.
Yeah.
But the other person is okay with that embarrassing thing.
Yeah.
You know, Octavio, you need to lose weight. And I'm okay with it. I'm like, yeah, I know. It doesn't really hurt me. It's like, yeah, bro, I say that all the time, bro. It's cool, calm. You know what I'm saying? But you have to say something that really pisses the other person off. You know what I mean? The other person really cares about. I mean, that's what
I don't think he cares about these Epstein files. He even said himself, this is just Trump derangement syndrome this guy's got. He's upset. And that's it. He even said, before he said it, he goes, he's going to say something personal about me at some point. He's not happy about this. And then that's it. And then that's why he's a Teflon Don. He just moves on, doesn't care.
Hold on. You actually brought something else. I didn't even consider this one. Yeah, he did say that. He's probably going to start saying something personal about me. He knew he would say that.
Yeah. He knew it was coming.
He knew it was coming.
Yeah.
He knew it was coming. So if he knew it was coming, I'm sorry, bro. Okay, you see it differently, but the way I see it is he was preparing everyone for what he was going to say. That's it. You know, he was trying to save face. That's my opinion on this. You know,
damage control, you mean?
He was that's it. That's the right word. He was doing damage control.
Yeah.
It's like he was preparing everyone, you know, to basically get ready. Something is coming down the pipe. Get ready. But that means there's some truth to it. There's some truth. Maybe. I mean, we don't know. We'll never know. Unless the files are, of course, released.
Which is never going to happen.
I think when they were released, they were heavily redacted, right?
Yeah, and this was a release that was made 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, there was a release. And then they redacted what was released 10 years ago. So it's not even fresh information. They really just there's something really suspicious in those Epstein files.
Yeah, so it was so heavily redacted that everyone thought it was a joke. Why is this even being released? If we just go about everything. I mean, I wish him the best, guys. I wish him the best. I don't think they'll ever be friends again, that's for sure.
I don't think they were in the first place.
Yeah, yes, well said. Well said. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. This was
like a funny video or something.
Yes. Go ahead, my brother, please.
So I don't know if it's funny, but I just saw it and I like the title. So basically, this is Trump talking about Elon for the past 8 months or something. Let's see if this is interesting. Do you want to put it on the screen?
Sorry.
Elon Musk. He saved free speech.
Elon Musk. How great is Elon Musk? The king of computers. We have the king of everything, Elon Musk.
We have a new star, Elon. Now he's an amazing guy.
Elon is, to me, a patriot. He's a great guy. He's a very committed person. He's a very serious person. And he's a very high IQ people. He's just an incredible person, and he's a friend of mine, and he's a nice person, too. He's a very nice person. Elon is so terrific. He's one of the greatest business leaders and innovators the world has ever produced. He happens to be a really good person who loves the country. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore, but I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it.
Elon Musk. He saved.
That's it.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm just wondering what Trump is really saying behind closed doors. You know, I know how he has to come across when the cameras are on him, when he's in public, but behind closed doors, I wonder what kind of names Trump is calling him. Oh my days. But yeah, guys. There's 22 of you watching. Shout outs to you guys. You know, for hanging around with us for an hour and a half, and delving into this issue. Shout outs to you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. All right. Peace. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Play up.